Today we delve into Mark Wahlberg and the movies we like. In no particular order, here are my 10 most favorite Mark Wahlberg movies. What are your?
When no one else gives a shit what you got to say, God does.
Number 10. The Big Hit 1998. This movie was funny. Mark plays Melvin Smiley, a hitman with a peculiar predicament. He's too nice for his own good. He has a clueless greedy girlfriend whom he cares about and a not-so-clueless greedy girlfriend that he also cares about. He works with a team of hitmen who are lazy at best. When Melvin finds himself in debt to his mob bosses after sparing the life of a target who turns out to be the goddaughter of the crime boss Paris, chaos ensues. Melvin finds himself in a series of mishaps and escapades as he tries to settle his debt and protect his loved ones. Number 9. Ted 2012. In Ted, Mark Wahlberg plays John Bennett, a grown man whose childhood teddy bear, Ted, magically comes to life and becomes his crude and outspoken best friend. John is a likable, but somewhat immature guy who can't seem to balance his adult responsibilities with his loyalty to Ted, who is a beloved companion who has been by John's side since childhood. You will see John grapple with the challenges of adult life, including his romantic relationship with his girlfriend and the pressures of growing up and moving on from his childhood attachments. Who wants to be an adult, right? Number 8. The Perfect Storm 2000. In The Perfect Storm, Mark Wahlberg plays the character Bobby Shatford, a fisherman from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Bobby is part of a close-knit crew aboard the fishing vessel Andrea Gale, led by Captain Billy Tyne, played by George Clooney. The film follows the crew's journey as they set out to sea on one final fishing expedition before the end of the season. On this particular run they encounter increasingly treacherous weather conditions. Bobby and his fellow fishermen must band together to navigate the raging storm and survive against all odds. Wahlberg's performance captures the resilience and determination of UC Bobby as he fights to overcome the forces of nature and protect his crewmates. An outstanding performance. Number 7. Four Brothers 2005. In the beginning of the movie, you see an old woman enter a local market and being killed in what appears to be a robbery gone wrong. Mark Wahlberg plays Bobby Mercer, one of old woman's four sons who reunite to seek revenge for the murder of their foster mother. Bobby is the leader of the group. Tough and street-smart, he is known for his quick temper and willingness to take matters into his own hands. Alongside his brothers, Bobby sets out to track down the perpetrators responsible for the senseless killing, navigating through danger and corruption. As the brothers delve deeper into the investigation, Bobby's unwavering commitment to seeking justice becomes increasingly evident, driving him to confront his own troubled past, the demons that haunt him. Bobby strives for justice. Number 6. Shooter 2007. In the movie Shooter, Mark Wahlberg stars as Bob Lee Swagger, a former Marine Corps sniper who is reluctantly drawn back into action when he's framed for an assassination attempt on the President of the United States. Swagger is a skilled and resourceful marksman with a keen sense of justice, but also haunted by his past experiences on the battlefield. As he sets out to clear his name and uncover the truth behind the conspiracy, Swagger encounters a web of deception and betrayal. He must use his former tactical expertise to outwit his adversaries. Despite facing what seems to be insurmountable challenges, Swagger remains steadfast in his pursuit of justice, using his skills as a sniper to stay one step ahead of his enemies. Number 5. Pain and Gain 2013. Mark plays the role of Daniel Lugo, a charismatic but misguided bodybuilder who becomes involved in a scheme to kidnap and extort a wealthy businessman. Lugo, along with his accomplices, Paul Doyle, played by Dwayne Johnson, and Adrian Doorbal, played by Anthony Mackie, concoct a plan to seize the businessman's assets and live a life of luxury. However, you start to see their schemes spiral out of control and they find themselves embroiled in a series of violent and increasingly chaotic events. As he becomes increasingly consumed by his desire for wealth and success, he starts to become more desperate. Despite his initial motivations being to improve his life, Lugo's actions ultimately lead to disastrous consequences for himself and his friends. The law is on their heels. Number 4. The Lovely Bones 2009. Jack Salmon, played by Mark, is a grieving father whose daughter, Susie, is murdered by an unknown assailant on her way home from school. Jack's character is emotionally tortured as he struggles to come to terms with the loss of his beloved daughter and seeks justice for her death. As Jack grapples with the devastating loss of Susie, you see his emotions range from profound sadness to intense rage. Despite his outward appearance of strength, Jack's vulnerability and anguish are palpable, revealing the depth of his love for his daughter and the pain of her absence. Even after years, he never forgets his grief or his longing to find her killer. Eventually, the killer is found through a stroke of luck, and while Jack's family can believe who the killer is, they can finally have some peace. Number 3. We Own the Night 2007. Mark Wahlberg plays Joseph Grzinski, a dedicated and principled police officer in New York City during the late 1980s. The film is about Joseph's complex relationship with his brother, Bobby, played by Joaquin Phoenix, who works on the fringes of organized crime. Wahlberg's character is torn between his loyalty to his family and his commitment to upholding the law. Joseph struggles with the ethical dilemmas posed by his brother's criminal associates. Despite their differences, Joseph's unwavering sense of duty drives him to confront Bobby and take a stand against the corruption and violence plaguing their community. After he is shot outside his home, his life and that of his family takes a different path. Number 2. The Departed 2006. The Departed is a crime drama, and if you have watched any of our videos, you know that this is one of my ultimate favorites. Mark Wahlberg plays the role of Sergeant Sean Dignam, a tough and no-nonsense member of the Massachusetts State Police. He is known for his brash demeanor and sharp wit, which is in sharp contrast to the more reserved and calculating figures in this film. Dignam is intense and unpredictable, a totally seasoned law enforcement officer who is unafraid to speak his mind. As the movie progresses, his character becomes increasingly suspicious of those around him. Dignam's abrasive personality and unwavering dedication to his job make him a formidable presence within the police force. As the story unfolds and the lines between loyalty and betrayal blur, Dignam emerges as a key player in the high-stakes game of cat and mouse between law enforcement and organized crime. Number 1. Fear 1996. Mark is absolutely great in this movie. He portrays David McCall, a charming but psychotic young man who becomes infatuated with a teenage girl named Nicole Walker, played by Reese Witherspoon. Nicole's father is very protective, but Nicole becomes increasingly entangled in David's web of manipulation and control. As David, Wahlberg exudes a sense of menace and unpredictability, keeping both Nicole and the audience on edge throughout the movie. His character's obsession with Nicole quickly escalates into acts of jealousy and possessiveness. He starts to stalk Nicole and her family, leading to a series of violent confrontations that culminate at the end of the file. In a harrowing climax,